Hi everyone, it's Sarah here from Sports Rehabilitation Leeds and Leeds Golf Centre. So I've had an email about some lower back strength work that people can do while they're at home. I've devised a couple of different videos. This one is based if you can lay down, so lay in your bed, and the idea is switching on your core and making sure that your core is strong enough to support your lower back in that sense. Every time you switch your core on, it switches on loads of little muscles up your spine, and kind of the idea of the core, the main aim of it is to prepare your body for movement. So if you switch your core on before you do a golf swing, for example, it'll really help encourage all the muscles switch on and get ready for movement. Often, as you probably find, you often injure yourself when you're bending down in the shower to pick up soap, when you're putting things in and out of the washing machine, when you're not really expecting to have to do much work. That's when you often injure yourself, and it's because your muscles aren't ready for exercise. So all I'm going to teach you today, hopefully if this video works, is how to switch on your core and a few different exercises that you can do to kind of encourage building strength in there, so when we do get back to golf you'll be a little bit stronger. So again, all this on video might not be as good as if you saw me in person. However, I will try my best, and if you have ever seen me for a lower back issue, I've probably taught you this already, so this might just help refresh what you were already doing. So again, if you can lay on the floor, fine. If you lay on your bed, it's easier to get up, totally fine. You can do this on a morning just for 2 or 3 minutes before you get out of bed, and that's really useful just to encourage switching it on. And then the more used you get to switching your core on, you can just do it when you're stood up, put the kettle on boil, you can switch your core on for a minute, and try and incorporate it into your day-to-day life, and that will just mean that you're working even when you don't think you are, because taking 20 minutes out to do an exercise video can be quite difficult. But if you can just incorporate it into your day-to-day life, that'll be much easier to continue with. Okay, so let's do this. So the idea is here on both sides, here and here, that's where you put your hands. Idea being it should be quite soft and quite pliable. Then if you were to laugh, you feel it switch on, and that's what we want. It's that kind of switch on underneath where your fingers are. So this V here, that's where we want to put our fingers. Okay, so put your fingers in there, and then all I want you to do is try and tense the muscles under your fingers. So for some people you have to laugh a little bit, which sounds ridiculous, but that helps obviously switch it on so you can kind of get used to it. Other people, again, they just have to kind of encourage and get used to switching it on and off. So all I tell you to do straight away is switch it on and then switch it off. Switch it on. You can kind of see my hands moving a little bit, but it's not very clear on the video. Switch it off. Okay, so get used to switching it on and off. Again, if you need to go ha just to switch it on, that's fine, and that's what we need. We need that lower abdominal switching on there, your rectus abdominis. Okay, so then what I want you to do is switch on, hold it on, and do a deep breath in and out, bearing in mind the out breath is harder, so you have to, when you've done an in breath, really concentrate on that contraction. Okay, so switched on, breathe in and breathe out, and keep it switched on, and then relax at the end. If you relax at the end, you'll know whether or not you've managed to keep it switched on, because until you can isolate the contraction, it's quite difficult sometimes to tell whether or not you switched on. Okay, so again, switch on, deep breath in, breath out, and relax. So seems a little bit self-explanatory and a little bit, how do I know if I'm doing it right? Until I can get hands on, I won't know whether you're doing it right. But the idea is, if you can switch on your core and encourage that contraction underneath your fingertips when they're just on the tips of your pelvis, then you're definitely switching your core on. And what we want to get is, we want you to be able to switch your core on and breathe in and out for 10 deep breaths without it going off again. Now, this will be quite difficult, and it is something you'll have to build up to. So for the first couple of days, I just encourage you to switch your core on and switch it off, switch it on, do a deep breath in, try do a breath out, keeping it switched on, and then relax. even if you're bracing a bit too much to begin with, because we don't want your abdominals switching on. And that's why we do the breath, because if your abdominals are on, you won't be able to breathe deeply. But to begin with, all I want you to be able to do is switch your core on and off. And that is the best way to start strengthening your lower back. I mean, it sounds ridiculous because you're strengthening the front, but it does help your lower back if you do have a strong core. Hope that helps.